And as you can see, the ambush has been ambushed. We are back on Total War Rome 2, and this is a 3v3. My name is Ellington, and look at this. We had some Numidian riders, which are a guerrilla deploy cav unit, that were trying to be a little bit sneaky, but they got out snuck. We've got Mighty Horse from Nervii that were here ready to meet them, but in the end, they're actually kind of pulling them into a bit of a trap themselves. Up on the wall, we've got Numidian light infantry. We've got some heavy horse coming out to assist, but the Mighty Horse might want to get out of here. They used their, I think it's a frenzy charge thing, which gives them a little bit better speed, but you can see they're now very tired because of it. Now, if we're getting into some of the players, let's go ahead and do it right now. For the defenders, we have got Masacely being commanded by Doc Dingo. We've got Arverni being commanded by Soyo Ruslan. I just made that kind of fancy sounding. Gete being commanded by Melikik. I'm not sure exactly how to say it. For the attackers, we have got Nervii being commanded by Droga Dimitro. I probably butchered that, and I apologize. We've got Seleucid on the battlefield being commanded by Noob Roja. And finally, none other than the mighty Rome being commanded by 17 in Roman numerals. That's his name. This is going to be interesting. We are on the settlement of Camaldunan. If I remember correctly, I believe that's what this is. I'm actually surprised that the Numidian riders are still here. I thought that they were cooked, man, when they got, surprised by the mighty horse that was hiding in there. We do have guerrilla swordsmen that were kind of over here, and they kind of ran over this way. But they're about to be taken on by some noble swords and some armored spears. Word of the wise. Don't bring the spears from Gete. They're not very good. They don't have javies, and they are very underpowered. What Gete has that is really good is that right there. Bring more of these. Excuse me. You can see we've got some armored spears back here, some mercenary axe warriors. Gete is one of those factions that is very limited in the mid-range because they can only bring mercenary axe warriors. And mercenary axe warriors, you can only bring like 4 units. So it leaves them really wanting for a good mid-tier unit. Though these noble swords are going to do perfectly fine. Some of these guerrillas are chevroned. Got a good javi toss from the guerrilla swords. It's up to 8 kills now. Over here, you can see the armored spear is kind of leading this, but the noble sword is kind of coming in behind it. Here come the Numidian riders and the heavy horse coming to assist that. Those guerrilla warriors are gone. I don't see really any chance that they're getting out of that. I did see that we have some bow horsemen from Gete out here. So it looks like he went with 4 Dacian heavy bows and a bow horseman. It could be in their rule set for this game. Maybe they allow that. I'm not sure. I don't know why his Citizen Cav and Agema Cav are all the way back here. He also double chevroned his Citizen Cav. It really, chevrons, guys, I don't mind the occasional single chevron. Oh, they glitched in tortoises. How did I just notice this? I'm relatively positive they don't work. Oh, this is going to hurt. Look at that. Yeah, not a very good shot. There we go, there we go. Oh! Interesting. I thought it didn't work on the... But they do! But this is a glitched in thing. Typically, you cannot bring tortoises on a barbarian map. Basically, what he did is he created an army, added a bunch of tortoises, saved it, and then put it on a barb map and loaded in this army. It's an interesting thing. Like, Huh. I don't like the glitching in of the tortoises, but it is kind of an interesting thing to see, you know, a much quicker, easier way of getting through these walls, right? Which tends to be one of the biggest hassles of barbarian maps is you gotta bring artillery, use your artillery to blast down the wall, yada, 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 yada. Oh, what I would do, I would bring these bow horsemen right over here and shoot these. See if you can make them go berserk into their enemy or their allied lines. So here come the legionary cohorts of Rome. Got a good javelin toss there, up to 36 kills already. Got some Celtic warriors basically leading that defense at the moment. But here come the hordes of Seleucid because the gates are wide open, boys. Come on in. I think that their eventual plan had been to maybe do something over here with those guerrillas. Obviously, that is kaput. I'm a little surprised to see Nervii is going to stretch out to the right here a little bit. We'll see how that goes. That's going to put him 1v1 versus Mesacely. As far as we can see, right? Well, I guess we can see everything because we're looking from their perspective. Mesacely only has Numidian light infantry, you know, holding the front end. I don't like this. I'm just going to be 100% honest with you. I don't like the fact that your main line, and this goes for the whole defense, not just Mesacely. Gette's doing pretty good with spreading his forces, but this is really bad because you need these troops today, right now. And so to use them, you're going to have to rush them forward to try and, you know, get into combat if you're going to try. But as is, you know, you're going to be exhausted. I'm not a fan of holding troops at the back like that. You know, it's one thing, you know, you keep some troops back here just so you're not clobbed up, right? But this is your entire army, and I would rather, you know, have to fall back, you know, and do it that way than run into a situation where I have to rush my units into combat and have them be exhausted. So we got thorax swords from Seleucid coming forward. Legionary cohort, 142 kills now. Nervii is dropping, and to be perfectly honest with you, I don't blame, you know, Mesacely at the moment. He's just backing off, especially because of this. He can't fight Nervii right now. Gette seems to be probably going to be the main line defense on the left here. I think we're a little clumped up, a little unnecessary amount of units here, right? We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units from Gette all in this spot. Why? You know, wouldn't you don't need that many units to hold this area. You could do 2 or 3 probably. Now we're getting a fallback here. Gette, I think, might be realizing that he has no help at the moment. It's just him and a few, like, weak Mesacely units. You know, Arverni is over here, and Arverni does look like he wants to make a stand in this area, but it's not going to be able to if these guys fall back. Giving up the entire area. Just open door. You know, usually I'm not a big fan, but with this, I'm curious as to what the better call is. Me personally, I'm not a fan of giving up really any ground to the attackers. I like to meet them as close to the wall as I possibly can to prevent as much room for them to maneuver as possible. Yeah. And I think Arverni's realizing he is pulling back a lot of his units. He's got some savage dogs over here. The bow horsemen are going to either have to leave, or which they could, you know, with the wall being down, they could just leave and then come over here. And as the match continues, the bow horsemen, you know, just be a nuisance. The one downside to that is the attackers brought a pretty hefty cav force. We've got citizen cav, we have Agema cav, We still have a couple mighty horse. I thought we had more than that. They do have the elephants, obviously. The elephants could be dangerous for the attackers, though, because if those bow horsemen are able to get shots in on that elephant, you know, you could be looking at a rampaging elephant through your back lines. I'm really not sure why he's keeping, you know, he's got a 160-man Oathsworn unit here. You know, I'd say if you're going to pull back, you know. Now, Camaldunin has 3 ways to the second level. 2. But to the top level, it has a back path that goes right up this mountain right here. So the almost identical version of it, oh my god, my brain just like completely went blank. Medellin doesn't have this because there's a big mountain back here that overlooks the settlement. I don't think I agree with this. I think that in the end, probably going to be a waste of an Oathsworn. I could be wrong. But, you know, you've got basically 1, 2, 3 units going to hold back everything. Right now it's not very much, but you got some Legionary Cohort. You got 2 Thorax Swords here. Oathsworn are probably going to do some damage, don't get me wrong, but I think that in a better position, a better supported position, they could probably do better. And then you have to waste a Chosen Sword to kind of protect their back end so that they can keep fighting. I think, in my opinion, just a little bit of a waste of troops here. Hopefully they get good kills. If to make it worth it, that's the only they have to. You know, he's lost 1 man. He could literally just walk away right now. He has a chance that he could take this unit and just walk away. You know, he threw the Celtic Warriors in. They will hold just long enough that, probably both these units you could walk away. But he's not. He's going to stay in combat. They are getting charged. The Thorax Sword for Seleucid kind of going through the Celtic Warrior here. I don't know if it's due to the shield wall. Sometimes when you put your men into formation in the middle of combat, it can sometimes make them do wonky things. Ah! Death to you, barbarians! You know, Seleucid is really far from home. Camaldunin, if I remember correctly, is in Britain, so Seleucid is a long way from home. Got a battle rhythm on the Celtic Warrior. We've got Headhunt on the Oathsworn. Oathsworn 88 kills. He's lost 6 men. Legionary Cohort now in combat. Citizen Cav, don't charge this. There's too much stuff in here. You're not going to really get much of anything. You got 9 kills, and I don't think that's anything from this. It could be maybe some of the Celtic Warriors, but I doubt it. You still have a unit in the way. Okay, they got through well. Second wind on the Oathsworn. Walk away. You can still do it. You can still walk away. He wants blood. He wants blood. We do still have the heavy horse and the Numidian riders of Massacelee outside the walls, as well as the bow horsemen. Dude, just sneak up, just walk up. Just walk up. Get shots right here. This bad boy goes right through this. Come on. Come on, you know you can do it. You know you want to. It might take a few volleys to make it happen. Come on. If Seleucid doesn't notice this, this is going to be just beautiful. And even if they don't go berserk, you might be able to get a kill or 2, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, the bow horsemen do not have fire arrows, because that would make it work even better to get them to go berserk. Biziyake. No luck so far. I would not have put... Oh, wait. Oh, they do have... I forgot. Come on, you can make it happen. Saluka literally just doesn't seem to even notice or care. Come on. You gotta remember, it's a half unit, right? There are only 80 men shooting. Those sworn 155 kills. Still 121. They're holding strong. Oh, yes, there it is. Oh, come on. Come on, right here. It's right there. Oh, man. That's just the luck of the draw, unfortunately. You just, once they go berserk, you really don't know what they're going to do. You can see they do come back. And Sluka is now aware. His general now posturing here. Come on. Make it go again. Make it go again. Especially they're going towards the troops. Unfortunately, I don't think we got any dice. Sorry, guys. Osborne 79 out of 160. What they really could do is they could pull this unit back to like right here, and these archers could do a number. 64, 211 kills, but only one chevron, obviously showing they've gotten a lot of kills, but not exactly like the best kills. Sorry, just kind of looking. 223. He's not far from a second chevron, but he is probably going to break here in a moment. They are steady. They're doing all right. But see that little yellow diamond right there? So when it's yellow, it means that they're kind of shaking. They're not doing too hot. Green obviously is good, and then if they turn red, that means that they are very close to breaking. The morale is very low. So you can see these guys are yellow as well. See there, it's red. See, now they're shaking, yep. So if you had a warrior gen, you could pop the fear effect ability on that unit. It would probably break immediately. Instead of, how it was able to stand and fight a little bit longer. Okay, your Osborne's dead. Bring the Chosen Sword back. For the love of God, please. Dacer, the bow horsemen, they actually have a kill. Not on the elephants, unfortunately. Man, I so wanted that to happen, and he got him to go out of control, and they went the wrong way. Why dismount our cavalry? Forward. Wait, he didn't. Yeah, he dismounted, right? Yeah. I mean, I guess he saw the archers, available, and he saw the siege tower. But I feel like they probably would have just been better as the cavalry. They probably could have been a little bit patient. They probably could have been patient with them. And then once again, come in and been a hassle in the back lines. I don't know why they're sending, like, all of their cavalry to go deal with that one unit that is dead. He took the unit over here? That's just... That's not the play I would have made. That's all I could say. And Masacely actually walking out. He sees Syrian heavy archers all by their lonesome. All by myself. It's not quite gonna get to him. They do get some really good archer shots in on him, but I would let's just not get too zealous here. Let's walk back to the support. Syrians also shooting the chosen swords. I'm kind of surprised that our Gallic hunters aren't focusing down the Syrian archer. You got 4 Gallic hunters, and you could probably wipe that right now. He just did it. He just gave the command. 114, 2 volleys coming in. Look at that beautiful volley. They do have solid armor for an archer, so... We got another volley in. But unfortunately, that one mostly missing. Oops, sorry about that. Now, this is going to be a big problem, especially depending on how they're going to play this. I am not a supporter of shotgunning. If you don't know what shotgunning it is, it would be like, we may see it, but I'll describe it. It'd be like running a unit into combat, pulling your onager right here, and then just blasting this area from right behind the line. That's what we call shotgunning, and it is typically considered a faux pas, no-no tactic. So, I really hope that's not what we're about to see. It sucks, because anytime you see a movable artillery, you basically automatically go to the assumption that it's going to be shotgunning, which is sad. Get this guy over here. Get this guy over here. Come on. What are we doing right now? Get over here and support this defense. What are we doing? Sorry, I had to take a drink. Had to take a drink. Rome leading the assault here, coming up in testudo formation. We've got, you know, pretty solid units. The thing about testudo in this game, it doesn't cover the side of the unit. So these archers up on the hill were actually getting pretty decent shots on them because all the shields were facing that way. Another unit moving forward. We got some thorax swords, fierce swords. Fierce swords are a high octane, move kind of unit. So they could be used pretty well in tandem with, you know, a thorax or a legionary cohort, you know, by cycling those units in and out. Got a lot of archers up here. All the Gallics now focusing the fierce swords, which is probably the right call. Armor is only 45. They are very squishy. I believe most of that value is shield value. So they don't like getting shot, ladies and gentlemen. See, there we go, testudo again. Trying to alleviate, oh my God, look at this. Jesus. Wow. Fierce sword, 31 men. Got to be careful with them. But that's the right call as the defenders. You see something like a fierce sword and you blast it. They're pretty good if they get a chance to do their cycle charging. So if you give them that opportunity, they're going to actually get pretty good kills. Don't give them the opportunity. It's the same thing like a, you know, veteran shield warrior for Lusitani, Scutari for Aravaki, Thracian warriors, Thracian nobles, you know, anything like that. Just blast them before they get a chance to cycle you. If they get their cycle charges in, they will do a very good damage. Fierce swords have a pretty darn good charge bonus, 37 charge bonus, and that's without their frenzy. Yeah, I was wondering where Seleucid archers were because they really need to get these guys backed off. These archers, maybe even the Gallic hunters if they could get them to back off. But I think the main thing is getting this hill, you know, get rid of everything off that hill. There's also the opportunity of putting archers here to clear this wall. We call it walking them off the wall, okay? So what you do is you bring an archer over here. Obviously, you got to protect it. And you basically start shooting into the units up on the wall, and you walk your way down the wall, clearing it. It requires keeping this empty, though. If they get that mountain dominant for archers, you can't do it. Pretty intense counterattack here. I'm not a fan of how quickly they fell back. I think it's just a little cheeky, in my opinion. But, you know, it's their game. They do what they got to do. They are defending outside of the choke point. So that is kind of cool. I like to see when people, they bring the defense to the attackers, right? Now, you got to be careful, though, because the attackers, you got to remember, they outmoney you, they outman you, everything. They basically have the advantage. Your advantage is the choke point. So if you go to them and take away, stop defending the choke point, right? You basically are giving the advantage back to the attacker. So just got to be careful about it. Don't commit too much. Desert Legionaries 119, 103, Chosen Swords 81. So not doing too bad, especially going up against someone like Rome. Javies from Thorax Swords coming in. They got 12 kills on that. That hurts a lot. So if it was me, I don't think I would commit much more to this. There we go. There's the artillery. Now remember we were talking about shotgunning. This is not considered shotgunning. They are attacking the point that they should, which, although, I'll be honest with you, I think I'd be targeting up around here because there's some juicy stuff. Yeah, I still wouldn't call this shotgunning, even though they're shooting this stuff. Their artillery is all the way back here, so that's a fair shot. Look at this, more troops coming in. Now we got noble spears. Not a fan. Armored spears. They are putting quite the defense in. Actually, they sent a ton in over here. What happened? Did I'm getting the assumption that Gete either crashed or quit? That's usually what it looks like when you see all these units basically just yeeted into the attackers. That would be my assumption. I think, and let me know if anybody in the game is watching the battle. I think Gete crashed or DC'd or something. You don't usually see full army just mass blob go, except for AI. Which usually means somebody DC'd or crashed or quit, whatever you want to call it. I don't see why he would quit the game. They've got a pretty good defense going. Unfortunately, the bad part about this is typically I say if somebody does crash and their army yeets, you want to support it as much as you possibly can, but I don't think this would be the time to do it. This really sucks, because if they had been holding here, then all of this stuff would have blobbed right here, which is not a huge problem. You can support the AI when they're blobbing in this spot. But because they were defending out here, it gave room for the AI to really just rush out. You can't really support that very well, which really is unfortunate. Noble Swords in. They both, popped a head on. Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. Noble Swords now just go into their death. Basically, now they're just in a position where the attackers can overwhelm them, surround them, you know what I mean, outman them. Noble Swords have 100, there was one with 107 kills, nice. 18. Noble Swords over here, we've got 26 kills, 141 kills on that one. And then somehow an Oathsworn got in behind all this. I don't know how he did that. Or did he go this way and then realize he couldn't do it, so he turned around? That could be. I think this means, it basically shows the defenders are just going to have to defend here.
Advance at speed! At the double!
Sacely, it's got some Numidian light infantry. I think the Mighty Horse were actually considering going into this, but, you know, there's a lot of Javies around here. Especially you got all these heavy Numidian skirmishers. I would not be putting more units to this. I think they're officially at a point where they need to be guarding their main choke points. Still got the bow horse over here, 4 kills. What's the artillery at now? Oh no, 235 kills. That's probably mostly on the blobs of Getae going forward. But then you have this. Why are we doing this? At least stretch your unit so that if they do shoot you, it's not, you know, killing 6 guys. Armored Spears just not doing well at all. This is Noble Sword only 32 kills. It's so it hurts to see. And you can see these ones have now broken. Dacian Heavy Bows with 88 and 79 kills. Arverni seems content to back all the way up. He does have a couple units out here defending. But it's, yep, look at that. Bounce power, because of that Getae thing, has really swung towards the attackers. They are not defending the choke point. I'm really not. So they've got a unit coming up here to probably Javi, I guess. But how does that, like, they're just going to walk in. I don't know. I don't get it. I have no idea what their thought process is at this point. Masacely is not coming to defend. So, you know, you got a unit just basically walking right in. He is getting jabbied like hell, but you got to defend the point, or the place. You either do or you don't. So if you're not going to defend it, then walk away. Why, like, just put yourself in a bad spot? They are getting good jabbies right now, so that's a good sign. Chosen Swords, 21 kills. You got another one ready to go in. There we go. Desert Legionnaire, Desert Cohort going in. So one of the big boys. One thing I noticed, you know, the main elites that we've seen have been mostly Nervii and Getae for the attacker, for the defenders, excuse me. Heavy Horse just sitting out here. Why defend the back point with a Royal Peltist? Put like your 40-man Legionary unit over here to kind of watch stuff. You got a 160-man elite tier unit that's guarding a breach that is way too big for it. Sorry, I bumped my mouse. I think it's going to be a little while before we see the elephants come in. You know, these are really heavy units. A lot of them have shield wall like like most of our Arverni does. But, you know, it's just going to be, it would be a tough place to put the elephants in, because the heavier the unit, the harder it is for the elephants to kind of do their job, which is push through the units and bust up their formations. Especially if they're in shield wall, it just doesn't work very well. They are getting a lot of really good jabby hits. It looks to be a combination of the infantry and their heavy Numidian skirmishers. Ooh, that hurts. Syrian archers finding a really good angle on this defense. Especially since that most everything that maybe could force them back is gone or dead or out of ammo. What I would do is I would put my heavy medium skirmishers over here on the wall and shoot them. Got to keep defending that, though. I think he's just trying to get charges in, possibly. No, he's getting up on the wall. Or at least facing it. But he's leaving this huge gap. Maybe he's got some jabbies that he can throw. If he doesn't have jabbies, there's no point of him being on the wall. Still don't see why they don't take the new medium skirmisher over and do that exact same thing. These guys really need to be in combat, not sitting up here on the wall looking pretty. Nervii has full control of the left side. So we got Numidian light infantry, we got desert cohort, some depleted Arverni units, lots of desert cohort left for Masacely. Okay, here we go. They're retaking their choke point, their defensive position. There's that artillery, though. That's going to be really tough, man. 249, he's got 2 chevrons. He does have to be careful. You know, he obviously has the chance of hitting his own units here. Sometimes with that artillery, you just kind of have to weather the storm and keep yourself from clumping up. And, you know, that might be the best decision here, like they're doing right now. They're basically spreading themselves in a way that, you know, allows the attackers a little bit of way in, but then it opens up a lot of, you know, side shots, back shots, and it hopefully keeps you less blobbed for that artillery. Because right now the artillery's got to be really careful because of all the blobbed up allies. Guy has 255 kills. Syrians still shooting up, 36 kills. Once again, why do we have a 91-man unit up here just not really doing anything? They still have this unit over here. Nervii has not approached this way. They could, realistically, maybe they're just thinking about a walk in the back mountain, you know what I mean? Here comes Rome. More legionaries, armored legionaries this time. Very, very good units. That's a cool picture. Look at those jabbies. Oh, right into the desert cohort. Because you can see that desert cohort is kind of in a position that, you know, kind of exposed his back end to these javelins. Right now they don't have a great, you know, view like they just had. Okay, here comes those chosen sword. I think that's the chosen sword that was on the wall, charging back into combat there. Finally, they used their heavy medium skirmishers to kind of push back anything from this area. It's the best spot for the archers, for the attackers. You know, any further back, there's just nothing, nowhere to set up. Counter your Syrians. Get on the wall. Get on the wall. Where are they shooting? It's a pretty frontal shot. It's not too terrible. I wonder if the artillery's out now. It doesn't look like it. It looks like he still has ammo. Could be maybe he's holding it for the future, you know, for the later layer. Nervii coming over. He's just, at the moment, just kind of capturing the tower so he can walk around you know, bothered. There we go. Now he's up on the wall. Throw, men, throw! I think they might be out of ammo now. It's got 135 kills, but heavy pneumatic skirmishers are actually relatively solid in combat. Obviously, they're, you know, not something you want to be hanging, you know, your entire battle on, holding a small spot, but when in support of better units like things like Desert Cohort, right, they actually do a pretty solid job. They got another Syrian up here from Rome. Curious as to when we're going to see the elephants in play. He's held them pretty far back in reserve for most of the game. How are we doing kills-wise? Look at the Armored Legionaries, 248 kills. 141. This one is pretty fresh to combat with, and he still has 76 kills already. He's lost 8 men. Desert Cohort, but it's a pretty beat up one. Well, not super beat up. It's a little over half, right? But, you know, going toe-to-toe with something like a full Armored Legionary might be a bit rough. There's those damn Syrians, and I don't think he has ammo to stop him anymore. 122 kills. You know what I might consider doing is make this guy really small and try and sneak along the wall here. I bet you could do it. You know what I mean? Keep it close to the wall, and you might be able to get into these archers. And the dam is breached. Look at this. A huge hole on the left-hand side of the defense. I guess it'd be the right-hand side of the defense. But a lot of troops flowing in. We got thorax swords, a massive Armored Legionary going to come in and probably get into this right here. And we've got more coming forward. Heavy Numidian skirmishers are not going to hold that back. The Armored Legionary is actually coming all the way over. I don't know if that's the best idea because it leaves that Desert Cohort to get in on his backside. He's kind of strung out. You know, some of his units are kind of engaged all around here. This is a fresh Syrian, 7 kills. Where'd the other ones go? 72, 139. Yeah, I'm telling you, get skinny and walk down the wall just like that. I bet you that they wouldn't see you. You just, you know, if you're a small unit, it's harder to see. When you're using the wall as cover, it helps. And then obviously there's just the byproduct that they're busy, right? They're doing stuff around, you know, they're microing their infantry, their archers, things like that. And so there's a good chance you might be able to get into it. Onager 259 now. I'd be curious how much ammo he has left on this. By the fact that it hasn't reloaded, maybe none, but they also moved, so that might be why. Yep, they still have it. They can't have much more than a quarter, maybe. And the Syrians, I think we're getting a fallback. Nervii! Look at this. Nervii on the backside. And this is the final point right here. So they might be at the point that they have to fall back. You know, if the units that are up here can hold, that's fine. But I'd be saying they're pretty stretched at this point. This is basically just a mosh pit at this point. Gallic Hunters still have ammo, and they've been sitting up here doing nothing? Aye. Rome still has, I'm going to guess, no, Armored Legionaries. I was going to guess Praetorian Guards, but 3 Armored Legionaries. Bounce power is a little more even than I expected. I didn't really expect them to be, like, still in this game. Like, the attackers have a lot left, and they've kind of had the initiative the whole, most of the game now. Oathsworn 183 kills with 2 chevrons. Oathsworn with 93 kills for Nervii. Yep, it's a good chance to reform. Good call. I don't know that don't put the general in. You might be able to put the desert cohort. Maybe they're just going to fall back to the top of the hill, possibly. $133 men still in that, 202 kills. And as you can see, they have fallen back officially. I think this is where I might be bringing my cav up to the breach and possibly walking in. The Royal Peltist has walked away. Yeah, you might be able to find yourself some opportunities. Honestly, I would be doing it as they're moving like they're right now, but they're far too late to do that, unfortunately. Nervii is just going to hold, and I think that's the right call. He doesn't have that much left, so I think it's probably the right call to hold for a minute. Allow Rome and Seleucid to put their pressure. I'm curious as to how much they might put into the right-hand side here. But then as that pressure builds, then you start putting pressure up here. As things get distracted, units get committed. Initial defense is going to be right here. Got a lot of stuff into this. A lot of new medium light infantry and then a bunch of chosen swordsmen. Though some of them are depleted. You got 2 that are under half health right there. Armored Legionary, was he going to try and burn the tower? I'm not sure. 272 on them. It's pretty good. 187 on this one. Where does Seleucid go? What does he have left? So he's got the Cav, he has a Royal Peltis, he's got archers that look like they have ammunition, he's got the elephants, and he has 1 unit of infantry. So realistically, Rome is the beef of the attackers right now. He's got the most units. Nervii going in, I think, too early. There's still too much that the defenders have that they can commit to overpower this. So I think they might be going into this a little prematurely. If I was them, I, once again, probably would have waited a couple minutes. You really need attention to be drawn to the other flanks. Mighty Horse, or in the Heavy Horse in the back, is on the move. Elephants and a Gema Cab moving forward. Honestly, I think that the elephants could maybe do pretty good back here. If you brought the elephants up the hill with Nervii, I think that'd be a pretty solid spot for them. It would be a lot less convenient for the defenders to get archer shots on them, because they still do seem to have some ammo on their Gallic Hunters. Yep. Still a lot of Armored Legionaries. There's the artillery. 302 kills. And this is just Well, they did loosen up their blob a little bit. They're not too bad. He's getting a little bit of friendly fire here. But some pretty good enemy fire, too. $331 now. They were super blobbed up, and they got rid of that, thankfully. Otherwise, that onager probably would have gotten a hell of a lot more. I'm almost thinking that if I was the defenders, I might just try to wipe Nervy Eye off the face right now. You know, commit some good units to come down and just blast them off the hill. Oathsworn 247. Got the General for Arverni in now. Desert Cohort 153. Desert Cohort can be one of those awkward units because they're kind of in between an elite and just a mid-tier. They're, you know, 920 gold, I think, but they don't get, you know, a use the whip or headhunt or anything like that. So they tend to kind of struggle against high tiers, but, you know, do pretty well against mid tiers. Oh man, the Syrians just still getting really good shots. And I'd say for the defenders, there's not a whole lot they can do about it at the moment. Their Galax, they might be able to kind of do something. But I think I'd save my ammo, and I think that's what they're doing. Save the ammo for the Indian War Elephants. Desert Cohort, this is a fresh one. 193 on the other one. They took the Oathsworn General out. He's lost 4 men. 88 kills with a Chevron. I honestly think that's a legit. I think he has gotten 88 solid kills and only lost 4. It's pretty good. They're just having troubles here. That onager is just... So this is to the point of what I would call shotgunning. It's definitely borderline. You know, the line, it's... I think I would call it that. This onager has just been a nightmare for the defenders. 412 kills. And it's not even... Oh, go wait, the heavy horse! Look at the heavy horse! Where did it come from? How the hell did it get here? I just keep clicking the crew. Make sure you're hitting the crew. No, don't. Yeah, just what you do. Just make sure everyone keep clicking on the crew. Right click on the crew so that you know you're concentrating your cavalry on that unit. Otherwise, they get distracted and start fighting all this other crap. Come on, break it. He probably doesn't have much ammo anyways. Wouldn't it be funny if he broke on 420? What I was going to say earlier, though, the threat, you know, the problem with the onager, it's not even just the kills that it gets, it's the threat that it poses, right? It means that you can't cluster a bunch of units to blob into that one spot and defend it, right? It's, you know, hey, if I blob my units, he's going to get a shit ton of kills with that onager, so I can't do that. So the threat in and of itself can be really big. Look at that, the Chosen Swords coming in the back, getting into the auxiliary Syrian archers.
Defensive positions.
Now the onager, I think he does get back onto it, but remember, the crew carries the ammo. So when you lose crew, you lose ammunition. So because he's lost now 90% of his crew, he will have far less ammunition left. And now the defenders may be able to commit a little heavier into this, you know, defense. Bounce power is still in the attacker's favor, but it's not too bad. Once again, I think I'm, you know, I guess they do have a reinforcement at Oathsworn coming up. Look at that one, 222 kills, and he's only lost 20 men. I think they're going to have to commit the elephants soon. We do have shield wall on the Arverni Chosen Swords. But it's a pretty small, well, it's about half strength. It's all right. Desert Cohort about to break. There you go. Archers coming up because they saw those elephants move. Arverni being really smart, saving some ammo just for that elephant. Well, he also sees the general in his sights. See how many he gets here. Got a couple. Rome sees it, he backs away. To the Roman player, if you don't know, when you get back onto the crew, hit backspace because it like glitches and thinks they're still moving when they're not. And so you hit backspace and it should allow you to fire again. If that's, I think he's having problems, you know, getting it to shoot. Well, I don't know, because his, the arms are up, and it could be because of that, like I said, that glitch. You got to hit backspace, or on the bottom buttons that are usually down here, you hit the hand for the stop. There it is, there it is, there it is. Come on. Come on. Get him gone. Come on, you can get him. One more volley. Come on, one more volley. Out of control. Out of control. Come on. Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, yeah, there it is. This might be the moment you might have to kill your elephants. You might have to kill your elephants. Oh, God, he's going to go. Oh, he's just letting it happen. Oh, God, why aren't you killing them? Why? Oh, Lord. Okay, they came back. They came back. Man, I wish it gave allied kills. Okay, another volley of fire shot. They're trying to get him again. Come on. Nervii attacking the back. Got double O sworn. Not the greatest volley. I think they're at the extreme length of the range for the fire shot. Yeah, I don't think they're getting him again. Osworn, General 39, the other one 258. We've got the Arverni Osworn General fighting back, as well as some Desert Cohort. I think he just, man, I don't know. I mean, you could just, you know, yeet your elephant into this, and I think that's what they're about to do. And cross your fingers and hope something goes good for you. But if you're going to do that, I might, you know, back some of my stuff back. Any more ammo? Looks like it. Oh, and they're out of control again, right into their own units. But now into the defending units. It's kind of both. Oh, look at that. 110 now. Royal Peltis taking damage now. Oh, look at the Royal Peltis get trampled. And back into their line. Oh, it's GG. It's GG. That's it. That is listo, done, finite.
Pick your targets. Halt, men.
And they're out of control. Oh my gosh.
Quick march.
And they're just demolishing their own army. I don't know why they didn't kill them. They should have killed them. I mean, it doesn't matter at this point, but oh, they're doing so much damage. If only it showed the kills on your allies. All right, let's start off with the defenders. We've got Gete, who, once again, I'm almost positive crashed or something. 1,015 kills. We've got Masacely Doc Dingo with 2,483 kills, an admirable amount. Heavy Numidian skirmishers did very well. Numidian riders actually did pretty good. And then his infantry did very well. 329, 3 chevrons on the desert cohort. We've got Soil Ruslan as Arverni with 2,143 kills. Heavy Horse did pretty good in the end. His general was very healthy and 189 kills, excuse me. His dogs actually got 72 kills. Infantry all did very well. For the attackers, we have a Rome being commanded by Roman numeral 17. 2,777 kills, leading the entire game. Archers did excellent, 420 on the Onager. And then, I mean, it's Rome, guys. Like, what else can you say? 253, 3 chevrons, an armored legionary. We have Noob Roja as Slukid, 1,604 kills. I think that in the end, like, he just got in a little bit late, and then he lost a lot of stuff at the end to his elephants. Droga Dimitro? I don't know. Nervii with 1,986 kills. That's solid. His Oathsworn all did really good, but I think the Fierce Swords, unfortunately, probably didn't do as well as he wanted them to. 214 is pretty good, though. Well, that is going to be it for today's battle. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget that if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next time.